Welcome to Skyline Columbus. I'm your host, Kristen Cowart.
And I'm your host, Bailey Smith. As college students, after a long week filled with academics, organizational meetings, and studying, a frequent asked question that students wrestle with here at Capital University is, what are we going to do this weekend? We went out and found a few students who would be willing to try and answer the question, what do you do in your free time?
Hi, I'm Lynn Tansak with Skyline Columbus. Today we'll be discovering what Capital students do in their free time. What is your name?
Regine.
What do you like to do in your free time when you're hanging out with your friends?
Hang out with my friends. No, I hang out with my friends. Like on Fridays, we like have a movie night in SA Lounge, and like we just like have like 10 movies from the library and just like set up for anybody who wants to come. So we do that.
What are your guys' names?
I'm Mary Ellen.
I'm Cody.
What do you guys like to do in your free time around here?
I watch a lot of movies.
I watch a lot of movies too, but I also like to hang out with my friends when I have time.
All right. Well, there are a lot of cool cats around here to hang around with. So you can find any number of things to do. You can go over to Columbus proper, or even check out any of the number of the cool shops in Bexley.
Normally, we just hang out at various spots around campus, sometimes around here, sometimes at the fountain, and chill and have good conversations.
I'm Sonia. Hello. What do I do in my free time when I'm not slaving away and studying? I'm at meetings with these lovely ladies, my executive board of SOLA, that stands for Students of Latino Affinity.
What is your name?
I'm Lauren.
What do you like to do in your free time around here?
I like to hang out with my friends and play video games. It gets pretty intense sometimes.
What are you involved in around Capital?
I'm involved in a Bible study and Crew, which is Campus Crusaders for Christ. And also I work in the theater.
Are you involved in anything here around Capital extra besides class?
Right now I'm in the Capital Fencing Club. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of working out.
What is your name?
My name is Wes Meadows.
What are you involved in around Capital?
Well, around Capital, I work in the campus center as a night watchman, so that's interesting.
Very interesting. What do you like to do for fun around here in your free time?
Well, I play with my band all over the place, and I promote my record label, Flower Power Records. It's lots of fun.
My free time at Capital University, I like to stroll the campus because it is very quaint and very Masonic in that it is all brick. But I love to, like this guy, smoke a pipe, read a book, and, look for trouble.
As you can see, students have a wide variety of activities that they are involved in on and off campus. There are even more that Capital provides. We are here with Carrie Hauser, who is part of the Office of Residential and Commuter Life. So Carrie, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. So we'd like to ask you, what are some of the goals that the Residential and Commuter Life have?
The goals that our department has is, one, to provide a safe and educational and active environment for both our residential and commuter students, to create a supportive network that turns Capital into a home away from home, and through our policies and daily interactions to teach our students how to respect one another and how to have problem-solving skills. And then beyond that, we provide resources to help our students in any way that they need help with.
Awesome. So what is your position within the office?
My position is I'm the area director of Schaff Hall, and so I directly supervise the RAs.
How long have you been with Capital University?
This is my first year at Capital.
How are you enjoying the university so far?
I really like it. I think that Capital has a small campus, but that we're a very strong campus, and so you can walk around and see people you know, and everybody's always very friendly, and I've been really enjoying my time here.
That's good. What are some of the activities that the Residential and Commuter Life Office plan?
Well, we have a wide variety of different activities, and actually we have about over 100 programs per month that we put on. And so we have about 55 RAs, and in general, each RA is asked to create 2 programs a month, either for their floor, their building, or campus. And so that creates 100 programs right there. And then we also have a new initiative that we're starting this year with our interns. We have 4 student affairs interns, and every Friday, every week, they put on a program somewhere on campus. And so it's for residential and commuter students alike.
Awesome. So you talked about RAs. For some students who would be interested in being an RA next year, what are some steps that they would have to take?
Well, our applications will be coming out in either late October or early November. And actually right now we're in the process of deciding how our selection process is going to happen this year. And so the first step obviously is to fill out the application. And so some things that they can help themselves with is try to find things to be involved with around campus so that they can develop their leadership skills to help their RA skills.
Okay, awesome.
What is the ultimate goal of being an RA?
I think the ultimate goal of being an RA is to assist residents in anything that the residents need help from, with whether it's making new friends, finding activities on campus, or issues in the building or with their roommates, just being a resource for their residents.
Awesome. So what are some of the events you're looking forward to?
Well, right now I'm looking forward to homecoming because obviously it's right around the corner. And also as I spoke about earlier, our student affairs interns have these weekly programs on every Friday night. And so each week I try and make sure to make it at least for a little bit so I can see the residents and commuter students interacting together.
Awesome. How do you help the commuter students interact with the campus community?
For commuters, we have a couple different things right now. Excuse me. We have a newsletter that goes out to them on a regular basis. We have a donut morning program every once in a while where commuters can come and interact. I know.
Yum.
And then right now we're in the process of creating a residence hall association for our residential students. And so then we're also going to be starting to create the commuter side of that as well. So an organization that's specifically for commuter students to provide programming and all sorts of different things that they need.
What challenges do you feel you're faced with dealing with commuter students?
I think that one of our biggest challenges is that if they don't find something that they're interested in and really, intrigued by, that they just go to classes and then go home. Mm-hmm. And so we have sort of two sets of commuter students, those that have lived on campus before and live, in the Bexley area, and then the commuter students who live at home and commute every day, from a farther distance. And so it's hard to ask them to stay for late night programming. And so the challenge is to make sure to find programming that fits their needs as well,
exactly.
Which we're working on.
Great. So what are some of the relationships that you have with the students?
So in my building particularly, I have a staff of 12 people. And then I have about 350 residents. And so on a daily basis, I'm either out in the lobby or in my office or on the floors, just talking to the students and getting to know them so that they feel comfortable coming to me and then I feel comfortable going to them. And then beyond that, as my first year at Capitol, I've really tried to get involved with some different organizations. And so, for instance, right now, I'm the advisor for RHA and I work with our International Student Association, and then I'm also working with Relay for Life. And so that serves some ways to get out and see students on a different level.
Now, since you're within the dorm rooms, what challenges do you face with students that actually live on campus?
Well, with students who live on campus, one thing that we're really trying to encourage is that they don't go home every weekend or even, they try and stay on campus as much as possible. And so we're trying to provide more weekend programming and incentives to encourage them to stay for the weekends so that we can continue to build that Capitol community and get more people to know each other and, strengthen those bonds.
Now, we know, unfortunately, there are a lot of students who come and they have roommate problems and they just do not get along with the roommates. What is some advice that you would give to them?
I think the most important piece of advice for roommate conflict is communication. Because oftentimes if a resident is having problems with their roommate, it's because they haven't talked to their roommate. You know, they've been annoyed for the last month that their roommate's doing something,
Yeah, right.
but I mean, if their roommate doesn't know that annoys them, how are they supposed to change? And so I think as we continue to grow and become more mature adults, then you can find ways to effectively communicate where you also are not also like putting all the blame on the other person. You know, it's a even playing field to communicate.
So if they have any problems with their roommates, should they come directly to you first, or should they go to their RAs?
They should first try and talk to their RAs, and so the RAs will help them communicate and probably end up sitting down with them and their roommate to help that communication process. And then if the RA or the resident feels that, you know, it's sort of a step up, then they can come to me because, you know, for the area directors, we are available for any student issues that come up.
What events have you had so far this year?
We've had a variety of events. We've had, for my building specifically, we've had the shop shindig. I know that our SAIs have had a t-shirt designing night. We had a rock band contest. We had board game nights, all sorts of things.
Well, thank you, Carrie. We're now going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will have a nice look at one of the many unique venues Bexley has to offer, the Drexel.
Welcome back to Skyline Columbus Cap Happenings, where we are exploring activities that students can participate in during their free time. One of the highlights of Main Street is the Drexel Theater sign right across the street from campus. Our reporters went out and asked Jeff Frank, the Director of Operations at the Drexel, about the theater and some of its operations.
A lot of college students like to go watch movies on the weekends, but Capital University students are unique in the fact that they have an independent movie theater right in their backyard, the Drexel. We stopped in with Jeff Frank, the artistic director of the Drexel, to find out a little more about the theater. Mr. Frank, how long has the Drexel been running, and how did it start?
Well, the Drexel was built in 1937 as a neighborhood movie theater, and it used to be a single-screen 737-seat theater. And my wife and I bought it in 1991, and about 1990, well, no, excuse me, let me start over that. My wife and I bought it in 1981, and about 10 years later, we turned it into a 3-screen theater. A couple years later, we added a in-theater cafe called a Radio Cafe, and we ran it for about 30 years, and we recently sold it to the Friends of the Drexel, which is a non-profit, and now it's a non-profit, community-based, mission-driven movie theater.
So can you tell us a little more about Josh Radnor's liberal arts movie?
Yeah, this is a romantic comedy. This is his second film. Josh's first film we played here was called Happy Thank You More Please, which was set in New York. This film is set in Ohio at a college. It was shot at Kenyon College, but that college isn't identified in the film. But it's about a 35-year-old man called Jesse who's having second thoughts about his career, recently divorced, going back to his alma mater, his college, to speak at a favorite professor's dinner for his retirement, and he meets a very young freshman co-ed, and they hit it off, and they become romantically involved, and it's about dealing with that because he's 35 and she's in her early 20s, and it's also about how life changes once you leave college. So it's about that whole how your life changes and how great it was to be in college, and yet how your life will change once you get out of college. And it's very funny, and it's also very romantic, and has a lot of great writing in it. It's got Allison Janney from who's been in countless television and movies, Richard Jenkins, and Zac Efron is in it too. And I just met him up at the Toronto Film Festival, and we talked about the movie, and he was thrilled to be in this film from Josh Radnor, who's really making a name for himself as not only a television star, but as an actor and a major film director and writer. So we're really pleased to have this film here at the Drexel, and we hope everybody comes and sees it.
Is there anything else that Capitol students can look forward to in the future?
Well, one thing is our prices are a little more student-friendly than most theaters. We offer a special student price of $7.50 in the evening, and it's only, I think, $7 for matinees. But we also have a bargain night Monday night that students can come to, and it's only $5 for all our movies, which we think is one of the best deals in town. So we have that going on. So that's going on. Plus, we have a lot of special shows we do. One movie of particular interest, I think, for CAP students is our midnight movie we do once a month. It's called The Room, and right now we think it's one of the biggest hit midnight movies in the country. It's a bizarre movie. It's been called the Citizen Kane of bad movies, meaning it's got some of the worst dialogue, some of the worst acting, maybe the worst script you've ever could imagine. It's been compared to the Rocky Horror Show, but it's not a musical. It's a love triangle. It's all set in San Francisco, and it's funny. And this is the movie where you bring plastic spoons and you get to throw them at the screen. It's very interactive. There's all sorts of other interactive things that happen. People talk to the screen. People act things out. Some people come in costume. So you can go to drexel.net and read about The Room, but it's a lot of fun. It's the second Saturday of every month at midnight.
And would you encourage
the Drexel is the only place you can see it in Columbus.
With the campus being so close, what makes the Drexel stand out as someplace students can come on a Friday night or something like that?
I think we're a great alternative than going to sort of these faceless megaplexes. You can walk over here from campus, or if you don't live on campus, we're still close. We're a neighborhood theater. There are a lot of great restaurants around the theater you can go to, but we also serve pizza here. We serve beer and wine, which you can have with your movie, which makes us again a little bit unique in the movie theaters in Columbus. And we've got great student rates, and we have films that you may not see a million television commercials for them, but they're really excellent films. You just go to drexel.net and you can read about them. We have a documentary coming up called Searching for Sugarman, which has been a big hit around the country about a musician that was somewhat undiscovered that has become a big hit in other countries and is just getting rediscovered. We have some other great movies, including Anna Karenina coming up here, the classic, based on the classic Tolstoy novel. And of course, we're showing probably the biggest art film of the year right now, The Master, which is made by the director of There Will Be Blood and stars Philip Seymour Hoffman, and it's been hailed as one of the sure Oscar frontrunners this year. So we have some pretty interesting films playing here at the Drexel all the time.
For more information on upcoming events, visit drexel.net. I'm Josh Vanderzijden, reporting for Skyline Columbus. Back to you guys in the studio.
As you can see, the Drexel has many things to offer, but we're going to take a quick break and stay tuned. This is the Skyline Columbus.
And would you encourage other students to get involved with debate?
I would encourage a ton of students to get involved, because I know I make it sound like it's a ton of work, but you put into it what you want to get out. So once you start working, you become passionate about the topic, you almost just get drawn in, and you want to do the work, and you want to show up for the practice debates, and you just want to give it your all and win those rounds. It really helps if you're competitive. I know that's a lot of the reason a lot of other students are in it, is because they like to win, and winning by knowledge is very satisfying too.
Now we are here with Sarah Jackson and Janelle Homer, who are working members at Capital AMP. How are you guys today?
Good, how are you?
Okay, so my first question is, what does AMP stand for?
It stands for Activity Management and Programming. and it was formerly known as University Programming, or UP.
Okay. Now, do you know how long the organization has been on campus?
Well, AMP is new to campus this year, but since we were formerly University Programming, I'm not exactly sure how long they were on campus before us, but they've been there for a long time. So we do pretty much the same things that University Programming used to do. We're just under a new name, and we're hoping to take the organization in a kind of different direction.
Now, did you guys change the name, or did the university change the name?
We changed the name, but we had to get approval from the university first. Our idea behind it was just to kind of rebrand the organization and revamp it. University Programming was kind of going a little bit downhill. People didn't really know what it stood for, what we did on campus, so we thought by rebranding the organization, it would be a good way to start over with a clean slate and then try to get some new ideas and kind of get everyone amped up about programming on campus.
So how do you exactly get people amped up? Like, what is your goal for the organization?
AMP is an organization that plans free events for students on campus, and those events are planned by students, and the ideas for those events come from students. So our goal is to provide events on the weekends, events during the week, a variety of things for the students, and everything, again, we do is free.
Now, when do these events usually take place? I know you said the weekends, but do they take place during the weekday as well?
And we typically have events on Thursday nights. We do comedians, we have different contests, and like last year, UP was known for Wicked Wednesdays. This year, we don't have a title for Thursdays, but we typically have events on Thursday evenings.
Awesome. So what's some of your diversity within these events?
We do a variety of events. We have some that we call homegrown events, which those are just kind of our original ideas that our members come up with. I know in the past years we've had basically like a Pokemon contest on campus where people would wear different t-shirts for the different like Pokemon characters.
Pikachu.
Yes. Charmander.
It's like the only one I know. Pikachu.
And so we have stuff like that. We'll hire different acts to come to campus. So those are our comedians. A couple weeks ago, I think it was, we had John Cassidy, and he's a balloon artist, magician, and comedian all in one. So he's very entertaining. We had him last semester as well. And then we have kind of our more larger events like Kids and Civs Weekend. We're helping with Friends and Family Weekend this year. We also do exam treats, which I don't know if everyone knows that is us that puts it on. And then also homecoming. Yes.
I'm there every semester.
And then we also are in charge of the homecoming dance. So that is going to be on Saturday night, and in the past we've had it at BOMA and Bluestone, and this year it's actually going to be on campus.
Okay. Speaking of homecoming, when does the homecoming planning begin? Like, when do you guys start planning for the dance and everything?
I was employed this summer to work on events for this semester, and we actually started as soon as orientation planning was over. Orientation wasn't through AMP, but I helped with that. So that was more like the beginning of August is when we started, and really we're still putting together the final pieces. So it's a really big event.
Is there a theme for this year's homecoming, or has there been themes in previous years? Or
what about previous years?
I don't think we really had a theme in previous years, or if we did, we didn't stick to it, and it wasn't pervasive throughout the week's events. But this year it's We Bleed Purple.
We're just sticking with a Cap Fam type feel. Yeah, everything.
Trying to bring out the school spirit.
Yeah.
Crusader spirit.
Yeah.
So since the homecoming is this weekend, what are some events that are happening this week?
This week we didn't have any homecoming events necessarily. Like it's not really a week leading up, but there are events that other organizations are putting on throughout the week in the evenings. And Friday night there's going to be, it'll be like a cocktail hour with, I think alumni are invited. I know that faculty and staff are invited, and students are welcome as well. And that'll be at the fountains.
Awesome.
So the day of homecoming, so Saturday, what do you guys have planned? Like, what do you guys have to do? If we were in your shoes, running around this campus planning for homecoming, what is it? Can you break down the day for us?
Well, in the morning we have Kids Corner, which a lot of organizations participate in that. This year, personally, for AMP, we're having a photo booth where people can go in and get pictures taken and stuff like that. Most organizations have activities at their table more geared towards the children that the alumni bring. And then as soon as that is over, we go to the football game. At halftime, we announce the homecoming court, bring them out on the field, announce the king and queen. Immediately after homecoming, we're going to start setting up for the dance, so we'll help decorate and kind of arrange tables and chairs and all that kind of stuff. And then depending on how long that takes, we have a little bit of a break, and then we'll have to come back and kind of man the dance, help like check people in, kind of keep our eyes out, see, make sure everything's going smoothly, and then the dance ends at 11, and we'll be tearing down the dance then after that.
Now, it sounds really busy, but it also sounds like a lot of fun. So what is like your favorite part of getting ready for homecoming?
I think that, honestly for me, I think it's seeing everything come together. A lot of behind the scenes work is really busy and hectic and never seems like it's going to come together, but as soon as we see it rolling, like just the ballots for homecoming, counting them and seeing everything come together, and then I think it's going to be really awesome to see the tent set up on Saturday and all the decorations come together and the candy table and everything we just have pieces of right now. So I'm excited. I think the best part is seeing it all come together.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now, how can students get their tickets for homecoming? Are you guys in charge of that part?
Oh, we are not doing tickets. All Capital students are invited to go, and each Capital student is allowed to bring one non-Capital student with them. They just check in at the dance. They have to have their state ID to get in, the non-Capital students. So we're not necessarily doing tickets.
And it's all free. Yeah.
Now, how long have you guys been involved with AMP?
I just started being involved in AMP last year when I transferred to Capital, so the beginning of my junior year.
And then I've been involved since the end of my freshman year, and I'm a senior now. So it's been a long time. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot. So I think that kind of helps with Sarah. Like, she's the president, but I can kind of give the input of what we did, what we have done in past years, and what has worked for us, what didn't really work, and kind of bring that past like precedence to the table for us.
That's what I was going to ask. What leadership positions do you guys hold within the organization? You're the president,
Correct.
and then
I'm the vice president.
You're the vice president. Yep. Okay, dynamic duo.
It's always fun.
Okay.
So can other organizations get involved? Like, how do you spread the word to get more people involved with your organization?
Coming to meetings on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. in the shoe room is probably a little plug-in. It's probably the best way to get information about us and get involved.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. There are many different activities that any student can find on campus. Whether you're looking for big organized activities or just looking to watch a movie, there's something for you. I would like to thank our guests again. I'm Bailey Smith.
And I'm Kristen Coer.
And thanks for watching Skyline Columbus
Cap Happenings.